Hello, welcome to episode 9 with your amazing hosts, Ashton
and Gavin.
We got an amazing lineup today. We got Avenged Sevenfold is coming out with a new album, which we talked about in episode 4, and they have released 2 songs so far, right?
Yep, 2.
2 songs from the album, and they say that fans will both love and hate the album, which is very interesting. That's our first topic, though. So, our next topic for later on is 10 games turning 25 in 2023. Perfect way to make us feel old.
Yep. Big milestone. Even though these games were technically before our time.
Yeah, still impressive. And then we got Invincible Season 2. If you haven't seen the first Invincible season, you just are missing out. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Release date, cast, and everything you need to know so far. But to our first topic.
Yep.
Gavin, take it away.
Zeki Vengeance says Avenged Sevenfold fans will love and hate Life is But a Dream album. In a interview with Meltdown of Detroit's WRAF, Detroit radio station, Avenged Sevenfold guitarist Zeki Vengeance discussed the experimental nature of the band's up-and-coming album Life is But a Dream, written and recorded over the span of 4 years. It was produced by Joe Barrelsoul and Avenged Sevenfold in LA and mixed by Andy Wallace in the Poconos, Pennsylvania. The album is a journey through an existential crisis, a very personal exploration into meaning, purpose, value of human existence. Wow. With the anxiety of death always looming. I guess kind of out of the gate, I want to say that it's a very brave thing to say that, and just to kind of openly admit that chances are your fans are going to both love and hate an album. Because of course your hope is, your fans love the album, to death, or at least love most of the album.
Yeah.
But, it is highly experimental, so.
Yeah. They did say that it was experimental, so I guess it's like they're going to try to appeal to their old audience and try to appeal to a new audience at the same time, I'm assuming.
Yeah. And, I guess, perfect example, the latest song, We Love You, it's very experimental in itself. Because, literally the first part, the first 40 seconds, it experiments with, audio cutting in and out purposely. To, kind of show, a corrupted meaning, I guess, just so to speak.
Is it, cutting in and out, or is it, distorting in and out?
Cutting in and out.
So, it's, like that?
Yeah, basically.
Maybe they're trying to, have a secret code or something in it.
Not exactly. I guess, for example, it starts out with, a really positive, kind of light message. And then when it moves on to kind of what will be considered the chorus, because the song doesn't really have a chorus, it starts getting darker. It starts out hey, you've done so good and stuff, and then just goes into more. Let's see, give me a sec. I'll actually pull up the lyrics.
Don't play it though, or else we're gonna be screwed over.
Don't worry, I make sure I have it muted. For example, more power, more pace, more money, more taste. More sex, more pills, more skin, more shills.
Sounds like they're turning into rappers. More money, more sex, more pills.
Yeah. It's definitely a brand new take onto, a very old genre.
Yeah, it's different from their... I won't say their original. They changed from their original to how you like them, and now they're experimenting.
Yeah. Let's see. Everything we do it with a purpose, Zeki said, as transcribed by blabbermouth.net. And the thing that I see fans are saying, and I see comments, a lot of people think we're just taking stuff and throwing it at the wall. And in some cases we do that, but it's still done with a purpose. And we know full well that these songs, in exact order, tell a really interesting story, point paint all sorts of pictures, straightforward, abstract, dark, haunting, hopeful, just everything but cliche. And it's exactly what we feel as people at this point in our life, and we really captured it all in that album. That's interesting. I mean, I guess in terms of actually, I can talk about that point later. Like, I kind of see it because, like, the music video for We Love You, I haven't actually watched it yet, but it has, like, a kind of dystopian look to it. And the music video for Nobody, it's, like, it's one where, like, a skeleton, quote, has, like, an out-of-body experience from, like, its host, I guess, and kind of goes through, like, parts of, like, a broken world and just kind of drifts through the universe, kind of, like, implying that, you know, as humans, like, even if we think we all have it all figured out, we kind of just drift and just see what happens.
Sounds like the guy that took the MDMA.
MDMA?
What drug did he do? Acid?
DMT.
DMT. Oh my god, there's so many drugs.
Yeah, and they're all psychedelics.
Yep. Yeah. Sounds like he got a hold.
I mean, that was part of the experience to make this album, at least from what I've seen. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, do I think that people are gonna love it or hate it? Yes, both. I fully embrace that too, he continued. Catch people off guard with songs like the first single, Nobody. That song is like a black hole. It's heavy, filled with gravity, it pulls everything towards it. It's very weighty. And it puts you in a mood and a vibe. And it's different than just a riff and a verse and a hooky chorus. And then throw some dueling guitars. We've done that before. This, we tried something different. We wanted to make a great, intriguing song that can get better with multiple listens and add some weight to this record and add some weight to what we've done in the past. And then with second single, We Love You, we incorporated a bunch of different styles, took what we typically do and kind of reversed the process and tried totally different things. And the album is kind of us just doing that over and over again. Well, I guess if they're going for a 50-50 ratio in terms of people liking and disliking stuff, I guess for the current track record for me, I like both their songs. It kind of took me a while to latch onto We Love You, but yeah, and it's 2 for 2 for me. So yeah,
I can't wait until like the song, like the album comes out, and you're gonna see like people like creating the two different, like splitting the two different types of like music in it. They're gonna split them into their own little albums for themselves, so then they can have the different moods.
Yeah, like this taste, like the chill part, the amp up part, like the adrenaline,
and then the existential crisis part.
Yeah, I mean, I won't doubt it with this album because they're kind of trying to do something different.
Yeah.
Let's see. We don't want to be the next Iron Maiden. We don't want to be the next Metallica. We want to be Avenged Sevenfold, he continued. And that's what we've always wanted to be. And in order to do that, you have to do what you do. We are blessed and fortunate that whatever we do sounds like Avenged Sevenfold. Matt, singer M Shadow's vocals are extremely unique. Guitar tones and sounds that we use are very much us. Nobody drums like Brooks, Wackerman. And to have all those tools and to not use them in the way that we were meant to use them before would be a shame. Honestly, that's a very good outlook. You know, I mean, just kind of taking a step back and realizing that, you know, even if, like, I guess for a good example, Hail to the King, that was like a tribute album to like all their inspirations and is kind of purposely meant to emulate some of their styles. And that, because of that, a lot of people didn't really like that album. And now that they've, you know, they, like I said, they stepped back and they know that, you know, these are their skills and they know how to put them together and they're going to do just that.
Yeah.
And they'll do it like in a new style that could be still considered unique to them. Could be a very healthy thing for, I think, just music in general.
Yeah.
Just, you know, like, you know, if
trying new things, encouraging people to step out of norms.
Yeah. I mean, I think like other bands or even like other musicians from different genres could probably take a look at this album and, maybe have the guts to take the great leap forward and try something new.
Yeah.
Let's see. Bands that try to be the next Linkin Park or try to be the next Metallica. There's a little bit more than of that when you're younger and try to find your place, but when you really break it down, you go back to what made you want to start a band in the first place. That's where you find yourself. We were mixing metal ballads and classic rock and punk rock and all that sorts of stuff. What Avenged Sevenfold is, that's what Avenged Sevenfold is, excuse me. And we love the Beatles, we love Billy Joel, and we love Johnny Cash. We love everything. That's what we are. That's what we still are at 41. We've come across different influences. That's where our hearts are at. And that's what kind of music we want to make. And that we did it pure and true with this album. Yeah. Avenged Sevenfold made its first festival appearance in 5 years last night, May 19th. This is not being recorded on May 20th. At Welcome to Rockville at Daytona International Speedway in Daytona Beach, Florida. Band's set list include 3 songs from Life is But a Dream, which will be released on June 2nd via Warner. Game Over, We Love You, and Nobody. Huh.
Is Game Over not out yet?
Nope. At least I don't think it is, because I definitely will listen to it. Yeah. Avenged Sevenfold's first concert since 2018 took place on May 12th at Area 15 in Las Vegas, Nevada.
That was about to say.
Area 51. Listen, the aliens wanted to listen to some absolute banger metal.
They definitely did that on purpose by naming it Area 15.
It's probably like some stadium, somewhere.
Yeah.
Last month, Avenged Sevenfold announced a second leg of its extensive Life is But a Dream North American tour, featuring support from Falling Universe, produced by Live Nation. Leg 2 includes stops in Nashville, Denver, Austin, and more, including at Fort Worth Dickies Arena on October 15th. Fans will have the opportunity to hear the group's first single, 7 Years Nobody, in their new album Life is But a Dream, for the first time live travel during the 30-show outing. Let's see.
Is there songs?
First leg, with support from Alex is on Fire, include 13 cities across the United States and Canada, such as Mansfield, Quebec, Tinley Park, Calgary, and more. Groove kicks off their 2023 solo touring run with two unique one-night only arena shows in New York and LA this June. To date, Avenged Sevenfold has sold over 10 million worldwide and has earned 2 consecutive number 1 albums on Billboard's Top 200 charts, 2010's Nightmare and 2013 titled The King, to go along over 1 billion views and a 1 billion plus Spotify streams, as well as multiple number 1 singles on rock radio. This band is equally known for their spectacular live shows, selling out arenas and headlining the world's most prestigious rock festivals. Man, I never realized Avenged Sevenfold was truly this big. Like, you think big, you think of, like, Metallica and, like, AC/DC and those older bands.
Yeah, when I was trying to, like, fact-check everything, when I was, editing podcasts and all that, I pulled up their Spotify page, Avenged Sevenfold, and I was like, it was at, like, 20 million, which is a lot, but it's, like, other rock bands have, like, way more than that, and, like, it just seems like it's a small amount compared to, like, pop numbers. But still, like, 1 billion... What was it, 1 billion? Oh, like, more than 1 billion streams?
Yeah. And
2 number 1s?
Yeah, and 2 number 1 albums on Top 200.
Wow.
That's impressive. Like, I think very few, like, metal or rock bands could say that, except for, like, maybe the Beatles and Metallica.
I keep forgetting the Beatles is classified as rock.
Yeah, it's 60s rock / 50s.
So that's like blues?
Yeah, it's more Christian rock, I guess, but minus the Christian part. Oh no, I don't really know.
Hippie.
Yeah, hippie rock.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know how many songs there's going to be in the new album?
No, but like I guess compared to like some of their other albums, like their self-titled and Nightmare and Hail the King, I'd imagine there's gonna be like around 10. Or like yeah, but I'd say between 10 and 15, like on the high end, or because it took them 4 years to make, maybe even like upwards of like 20.
Wow.
Yeah. Like they had like a lot of time to work on this, so
I wonder how many like scrapped songs that could have been in it there were.
who knows? Maybe they release part 2 of Life Is But a Dream.
Life That Was a Dream. There we go. It's all their scrapped songs that could have been in it.
Yeah. Like EPs or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be cool. Well, you just kind of gotta wait and see. June 2nd, have it marked on my calendar. Yeah, there's another thing marked on my calendar.
Do you know if it's coming to the state that you live in?
What, them? Like,
Are they coming to this state that we live in that we will not disclose?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
Like in terms of like a show?
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you, I bought tickets already.
Oh, yeah.
Me and Jacob are going.
I don't say the date, though. Are you going with Jacob?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did he buy the tickets?
No, they're technically my birthday gift, because I have a summer birthday. Not that it really matters. Yeah, it's gonna be me and him. I feel bad because I forgot to mention that he has to pay for his own ticket. Like at the jump, but he still said he was all right to go, especially because he's working. And I never really gave him that much of a deadline to pay it back, so, as long as I get the money back eventually.
So you have the ticket for him, but he hasn't paid.
Yeah, quote unquote.
How fast do those tickets sell out?
Pretty quick, I imagine. Like, I was part of, I managed to get them early because I'm part of the A7X fan club. Just like how my mom got her Shinedown tickets early because she was part of the Shinedown fan club.
Yeah, it's nice that they give... Didn't you say that's, they know for a fact that, you're a listener?
Yeah.
So they just go off, stats of listens and everything?
Yeah. Specific accounts, how many hours you listen to, a week / month / whatever.
I had that with an artist. They're coming out with their first album, and I have the option to buy one of their, 1,500 vinyls that they have.
Yeah. I mean, I really wanted to buy a Life Is But a Dream vinyl, and there's, it's a special edition one, too, where, the vinyl itself is, colored green, which is cool. A very, kind of a light jade color.
Yeah, vinyls are cool.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't really, actually play and, spin them. I'd rather just have them as art pieces.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat there.
It's just cool to have, an album cover.
Yeah, physical pieces of memorabilia. Show your support for the band or artist.
Yeah. Is that the end of this topic?
Yeah, it says so. Okay, now it's on to the next one.
My topic. 10 games turning 25 in 2023. Video games have been around for a long time, no duh. And it's been hard to believe that since video games first started working the way into mainstream in the 1970s, it's been half a century since some of the very first memorable games were made. Half a century?
70s.
That is half... Wow. I have visible shock on my face right now.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't exactly alive during the 70s, so...
I know, that's still, surprising. I didn't know. At the same time, you think, relatively new, but then at the same time, you also think, relatively old.
I remember hearing, a thing where if you were to, put, the entirety of Earth history in, 100 years, 90 years of it would just be, everything before humans. And then, actually, no, if there's, within a day or something like that, 20 hours would be everything before humans, and then the 4 hours would be, the last 4 hours would be when humans started popping up, and then the Renaissance would be like maybe 2.5 hours ago, and like jump up to like the Victorian era, which is a pretty big jump, but and that'd be like maybe 30 minutes ago. Like then you go to like when the internet was invented, that maybe be like 5 minutes ago.
Just like all of human history on a 24-hour scale.
Yep.
Because like,
well, just history. Period.
Yeah, because like you think of it as like young when you think like, wow, there's been way different like forms of entertainment, and this is such popular entertainment, and it's still so young compared to like books and sports and
movies, even.
Yeah, even like movies. But then you think of it as like old, 50 years. But then you think of like books.
Yeah,
thousands plus.
Thousands. Era of Sun Tzu.
The Sun Tzu era when he was making dank memes.
Yeah. Sun Tzu was the original memer.
He was. Sun Tzu was a memer. Goddamn train.
Yeah, don't mind that. Just train in the background.
Silence the train. Okay, so, games. Yeah, that. As games advance in both popularity and technology, some of the fan favorites of millennials who grew up in the 90s are now starting to get old. Some iconic games are turning 10, but some games wouldn't believe are turning old enough to have a quarter-life crisis. These are the games that are turning 25. First game on the list, Banjo-Kazooie. This is going to be like a realization moment for Gavin and I, like all of these.
N64 was 25 years ago.
Oof.
Man, that's insane.
Mario. Yeah. Wasn't Mario like 1999?
I think so.
Wow.
Actually, no. If it was before Banjo-Kazooie, definitely. It's a bit older.
Maybe 98.
Yeah.
I knew it was like really close to the 2000s.
Yeah, close to the turn of the century. Or millennium. Whatever.
Banjo-Kazooie hit the scene, quickly became one of the most lauded and popular games of the Nintendo 64. It is even still remembered today for its colorful art style, its great level design, and lovable characters. Banjo-Kazooie, that's the game's name after all. Although the series hasn't moved forward much when it's come to modern games, it is still fun to put on nostalgic goggles and remember just how fun this impactful collectathon was.
I think they put fun when they meant to say fun. Yeah, whatever. I've seen only thing I've really seen of Banjo-Kazooie is I've seen a full playthrough.
Yeah, do they ever remake those games? I'm drawing a blank if they ever have.
Nope.
That's honestly surprising.
It's been Banjo-Kazooie 1, 2, and Nuts and Bolts, which everyone hated because it wasn't like standard Banjo-Kazooie. It was something completely different.
Yeah.
People didn't like it.
Well, because like Crash Bandicoot gets a remake, Spyro gets a remake, all these older games getting remakes, or like sequels, like Psychonauts. I mean, that's not as old as these, but Psychonauts 2, Destroy All Humans. I'm pretty sure that was 64, wasn't it?
It's so like PS1.
PS1, PS2, yeah.
Yeah, or definitely earlier.
But I'm surprised they haven't done that with Banjo-Kazooie.
Well, I think just a lot of people write it off as a dead IP, which is unfortunate because people really like that IP.
Yeah. Even though I'm not a fan, not much of collectathons, and that in the terms of Banjo-Kazooie, but it'd still be fun to see it.
Yeah.
Next one on the list is Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, the original, obviously.
Yeah. That one's probably like 60. Getting old, man. Resident Evil did far from bad when it came out, but it feels as if the series really came into its own with its direct sequel, Resident Evil 2. After receiving a remake, it seems that fans have just been looking back to see how amazing this game was, introducing the iconic Leon Kennedy and the lovable Claire Redfield. I didn't really play any Resident Evils.
I remember when I still played on Xbox, I was considering picking up Resident Evil 7. I saw Death Road to Canada and immediately shifted priorities.
Pixel game good.
Yeah. Goofy. Goofy zombie game versus serious zombie game. Always, of course, is going to pick the goofy one.
Yeah.
Also, everybody loves our real proud dad, Leon Kennedy. Shout out if you know that reference.
It's staggering that it's in its 25th year. This game is still loved so fondly and clearly shows how much of an impact it's made, given that it's a beloved remake and everyone continues to love the characters it spawned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I know about them. Didn't a Resident Evil game, I'm pretty sure it wasn't the second one, but one of them got remade for Facebook, like Oculus VR?
I don't know. Could have been the second one. Like, that's 2 remake.
It may have been the fourth, honestly.
That's also a good guess.
But people are really mad about the remake because, like, they got rid of Leon's, like,
Goofy lines.
his quips towards, like, his boss or whatever.
Yeah,
Not him the boss of her. Like, she was the boss of him. And, like, there was one part where, like, the radio would cut out and he lost signal to her. And, like, she finally got back to him and she's like, "Where were you? I haven't heard from you in, like, an hour." And he's like, "What? Did you get lonely without me?" or something like that? And they literally, like, removed that because it was deemed too inappropriate or something.
Yeah. I mean, that was just the time, like, back in 2005.
But that's not even, like, you could still make that joke today.
Yeah, just people are a lot more sensitive than they were back then. Remember, we're in the offended generation.
I know, but, like, it's not like there was a power dynamic, if you want to use that word even. Like, she was the boss of him.
Yeah.
They were just bantering like adults would banter.
Yeah. Although I think the one that might have went a little too far is that for the original ending, for Resident Evil 4, the original, actually, when, they escape the island, she offers Leon some overtime.
Oh, no.
To be
That's
clear,
too inappropriate. No.
I mean, to be clear, they're both adults. Like, she's like college age, and he's a dude, like a fully grown man.
A dude.
But yeah, that probably won't have gone over very well.
Okay, we gotta start going through these.
Yeah.
Our next one, StarCraft. I really don't know much about StarCraft.
I think it's something to do with like a.
Isn't it like a real-time strategy?
Yes, let's say it's either a real-time strategy, a shipbuilder, and / a Star Fox competitor. It's one of those two.
When it comes to impactful sci-fi games, nobody can deny mentioning StarCraft. The real-time strategy game, it's real-time, from Blizzard Entertainment, spawned a franchise that still has a dedicated fan base. The game was first released on the Nintendo 64 and since then has had both a sequel and remaster. Even if it's 25 years later, fans still keep the series alive and hope for a third game to be on the way.
That's never going to happen.
That's dedication.
Well, people love old games. I mean, look at Team Fortress 2. That game's been around for 15 years. Obviously not like almost 16. Obviously not to the extent of these games, but I checked the player count, and 100,000 people are still playing that TF2.
Excellent. Pokemon Yellow. I don't know about this one. Pokemon Yellow. Let's see, where was that in the list? Wasn't that one of the first?
Yeah, it's technically like another alternative to like Red and Blue.
Oh yeah, it was like the special edition or whatever you'd want to call it.
Yeah, the third edition, like
Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald.
Yeah, gold, silver, and crystal, platinum, diamond and pearl.
Yeah. First there was red. Oh my god, it's literally just explaining what we were just talking about. First there was red, then blue, and then came yellow. As the first game in the series to be the third Pokemon game entering a generation, Pokemon Yellow clearly made a staple in the series. This title was a combination of the first set, Emerald or Ruby and Sapphire or Crystal, to your gold and silver, provided it's... What does that mean? I
don't know. I think it's an editing mistake.
And provided its worth. So yeah, basically, like, it was the first one, from what I just read, it was the first one where they started to make the 3 games per generation.
And then they cut it at Gen 4 and was never brought back again.
I wish they would, so then I wouldn't have to buy the DLC online. I could just buy the game that had all of it built into it.
Yep, and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon do not count.
Yeah, because then that would be considered 4 instead of the 3.
Yeah. Pokemon Star. That'd been cool.
That would have been cool. Not only does it feature the cute the cute Pokemon, not only does it feature the cute Pikachu starter, but it's the game that resembles the anime the most, meaning kids who loved watching Ash and his adventure got to feel like they were in the cartoon themselves. Pokemon is, of course, still going strong even decades later.
Yeah, and unlike Ash, you can actually win the Pokemon League because he always loses for some reason.
And you can actually collect them all and not 60 Pokemon.
Yeah, not like
his journey.
Uh-huh.
Be the very best, like no one ever was. Next one, Metal Gear Solid. I haven't played much of Metal Gear Solid either.
Yeah, neither have I. It's supposed to be kind of like a stealth-based game. That's all I really know.
Yeah, I've seen them on Xbox and stuff, so...
Do.
I know they're still making them.
Uh-huh. Listen, all you need to know is that everything can be explained away with nanomachines.
It's always those damn nanomachines.
Yeah.
Nanoma. I'm getting too tired for this.
Yeah.
Okay. It is hard to imagine a game that is as unique as Metal Gear Solid. At the time, Hideo Kojima became a known name in the gaming world because of the Metal Gear series, and from its great environmental design and stealth mechanics, the game helped bring a levity and maturity to games that was sometimes missing. The game spawned a best-selling and critically acclaimed series that has seen numerous beloved entries that have made their mark on the gaming landscape. Hasn't really made a mark on my gaming landscape.
Yeah, well, one small leap for gamers, one great leap for the gaming industry.
Yep. I think this is our halfway mark.
I think so.
This one's kind of obvious. Half-Life.
I'm with the science team.
Have you played the first Half-Life?
No.
Have you played any of the Half-Lives?
No.
Oh, I've played... Well, actually, I didn't play any of them either. I started Half-Life 2, and I played a little bit of the first one. And then I watched Jacob play the first one. But he didn't play Opposing Force or... sorry to everyone that I'm about to make yawn with that. He didn't play Opposing Force or Blue Shift.
Yawns are contagious.
Okay, but Half-Life. Though it's not as popular as Half-Life 2, Half-Life was still a groundbreaking achievement in that video game. And what video games could do, Valve has always been known to push the mark when it comes to innovation.
Yeah, except for in recent years.
Well, I mean, they made Alex.
That's true.
That is a good game.
And they're working on CS2.
Yeah, that's pretty cool too.
I just hope they start working on Team Fortress 2 Squared or whatever they're going to call it.
Avoid the 3 at all costs.
Yep.
Any number that's a 3 they have to remove from their company.
Yeah,
if they hit 3 billion, they have to either spike up to 4 billion immediately or hit back down to 2 billion.
Yeah.
No 3s.
Gabe Newell even admitted that they can't count the 3.
Can't even say that. He almost got fired for saying the word 3.
He's the CEO of the company. He
almost fired himself. It was his rules. Okay. From its leaps and bounds when it comes to interactability to its captivating story, there's a reason that Half-Life is known as an instant classic and is still remembered all these years later. Yep. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. This is really 25 years old?
Yep. I think I mentioned this before, but I played the 3DS port. I got stuck in the 3rd dungeon, then I quit. Never picked it up again.
Goddamn quitter.
Listen, man, I'm not good with those kinds of games. I'm not smart enough.
Fair enough. If you've ever played video games, ever even hung out around people who play video games, then you know about Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Okay, that really isn't Makes sense.
I mean, I guess, but
It's not like you're gonna walk into your buddy's house and be like, "Oh, yo, I'm always playing Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time."
it's just because it's literally considered to be the best Zelda game, aside from maybe Breath of the Wild and maybe Tears of the Kingdom now.
Doesn't mean that people are gonna be constantly playing it.
Yeah.
Bad article. Tower is one of the best games of all time. There we go. This entry is still a fan favorite in the Zelda series. No shit.
Mm-hmm.
Even after many years it has come out since its release.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The game has let players properly explore the land of Hyrule for the first time, wrapped its action-packed gameplay in high fantasy, and kept players talking about its wildest moments, from Ganondorf's defeat to that dreaded water temple since 1998.
Okay.
Did you get stuck in the water temple, Gavin?
Depends. Is it the past or the kid version or the adult version?
Which one did you get stuck in?
The kid version, where I had to pick up the Zora princess and had to escort her, quote unquote, back to the start of the dungeon. I think it's the adult version, though, that people always had trouble with. Because
the water temple is Temple 3.
Yeah, but there's also the temple in the Lost Woods, where you get there from the Lost Woods. Then the one in Mount Doom, or whatever it's called.
Is it called the Spirit Temple?
Yeah, the Spirit Temple. That's what it is.
That's the one you got stuck on?
No. So like I said, so there's 3 temples technically in the kid timeline, and then like 8 in the adult. I got stuck on number 3 in the child timeline. I never made it to the adult part.
Okay, we got 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Okay, Marvel vs. Capcom.
I have something to say involving Capcom, but I won't say it till the end of this one.
Okay. Although Marvel is known for the multiverse now, nobody could have expected collaboration between Marvel superheroes and Capcom characters in Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes. From its epic cast to its gloriously colorful visuals, this game was enjoyed in arcades and on home consoles alike. Now it's been 25 years, perhaps fans can expect to see a Marvel vs. Capcom crossover on the big screen, though that might be stretching the multiverse a little too far.
Okay, now for my point. This is more specifically geared towards one specific franchises that does appear in Marvel vs. Capcom, but Devil May Cry, they have Dante in basically everything Capcom related. They even put him recently in the Street Fighter mobile game, but they refuse to do anything with the actual IP. Like, I don't know, make another game, aside from Peak of Combat, but it's not exactly like a numbered game, so I don't know what people are really going to count it, even though it is going to be in the lore. Anyway, that's my tangent for the night.
Okay.
Continue.
Yeah, we gotta make this short. Okay. Parasite Eve. I don't know what this is.
Did they make an anime based off of this, or am I thinking of something else?
It sounds like an anime. Time to use Google. Gavin is Googling.
Nope. Oh, well, it's a movie, but it's probably not based off of the game. Also, a novel. Oh. But it's probably, like I said, probably not based off of the game.
Is it also an audio podcast?
Probably not.
Is it a coloring book?
I don't know.
It's everything.
Is it a flamethrower?
Probably.
Yeah, kids love that one.
Okay, Parasite Eve. Part of the resurgence in Japanese horror, Parasite Eve is a bizarre experiment that, unlike its antagonist, works out surprisingly well. The horror game sold millions and received positive reviews for its great graphics, reliability, and plot. It is still fondly remembered as a landmark in the Japanese horror genre for video games, and has spawned 2 sequels that wrapped up the series. The last one, Spyro the Dragon. It's odd sometimes to look back at a beloved series and realize they're just as old as you are, or even older. Spyro the Dragon fits that description. As the first game only came out during the late 90s in 1998, the game was a critical and commercial success. From the incredible design of Spyro and his world to the fun, reliable gameplay, there's a reason Spyro quickly went on to become a series and a mascot for PlayStation, and it's the same reason we're writing about this now. Spyro the Dragon will always be a historic piece of gaming nostalgia.
Interesting.
Agreed.
Well, you say that, but Navis actually played Spyro. I mean, you have, but you haven't actually beaten it.
But it's still, like, iconic. I mean, like, think of where Skylanders would be without Spyro.
I suppose that's fair.
Like, he's in, like, the Netflix show. Skylanders Netflix show.
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
Spyro kind of carried Skylanders, to be honest.
Well, I mean, similar IP, I guess. I don't know.
Well, they used them on literally the first. Hold on. Literally, the first game is called Skylanders Spyro's Adventure.
Fair enough.
I'm pretty sure that's what it's called.
And I think they dropped Spyro's Adventure, and like later, like Prince or whatever the game, or maybe they didn't. I don't know. Okay, and it's time for us to go on to our final topic because we're kind of crunching on time. Okay, this is Invincible Season 2. Invincible was an unexpected success for Amazon, but with only a vague time window for the release of its second season, fans are itching to know what future holds for the show. Man, like, the season 1 like released what, like 2 years ago? 2+ years ago?
Mm-hmm. We watched it all in like one night.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, very good. Like, it's unusually realistic, too, because, you know, when you think of superheroes, you always think like...
We're going to talk about some spoilers. If you do not want to see them, you should probably skip like the rest of the episode.
Yeah, at this point, this is the cutoff point. Well,
Season 1 spoilers.
Definitely. Well, probably, most likely. Yeah, just go anyway, unless you don't care about spoilers. Anyway, it kind of subverts the expectation of like superhero comics and superhero shows where like things
superheroes immortal.
Yes.
Well,
not like necessarily moral, but like, you know, they always save the day in the end, or, you know, everything's right with like zero casualties, or
yeah,
you know, the villain will always come back, obviously, but you know, yeah, this is very different because it shows like a lot of the difficulty of trying to be a hero,
or born as a hero, or born with a dad that is a hero,
and inheriting that power.
Yeah.
Invincible was a superhero comic created by Robert Kirkman. Is that the same guy that made the Walking Dead comics? Yeah, whatever. Anyway, and published by Image Comics. It shocked readers with its brutal violence and captivating by Mark Grayson's journey as a superhero. It's no surprise that an adaptation had been in the works for years. While the live-action movie was stuck in development, there's a live-action movie planned? That's
really?
The first I've heard of that.
Wow.
Amazon moved forward with an animated TV series to massive success in 2021, leaving audience begging for more Invincible. Let's see, when is Season 2 going to be releasing? Let's see, after another success on Amazon Prime, it was renewed for another 2 seasons, but production on the next season suddenly went radio silent for nearly 2 years. That sounds about right. Audiences were finally given some news though, and a crowdly self-aware teaser trailer that confirmed next season of Invincible will come out late 2023.
Let's go.
Okay, so by the end,
probably like Q3,
like early Q4.
Yeah.
Yeah. A few months later, Kirkman gave fans an update saying that it's coming along really great, and that he can't wait for people to finally stop asking about it. Quote from, I assume, Kirkman, it's going great. I'm seeing a full animation now. We're getting the music and stuff into it. It's coming along really great. I can't wait for people to finally see it so they can stop asking me about it. Was it delayed? At no point was the next season Invincible delayed, since it never had a release date to delay in the first place. I suppose it makes sense.
I think this is a completely new article.
Maybe. No, it's not. So the real question is, should be why it's taking so long for the next season to come out. That's what just games should do. And again, they already kind of do that, but they already miss deadlines.
Yeah, and then end up crunching.
Yeah, crunch, no matter what. Let's see. Due to the delayed renewal by Amazon, project only started after Invincible released its first season, not post-production, when post-production was finished. Additionally, the animation teasers any indication, the animation quality is massively improved, which could count for a season's longer production cycle. That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, if Amazon knows that this is a potential cash cow, quote unquote, so why not try to run with it?
Lots of people are anticipating it.
I just hope that doesn't become like the new Rick and Morty or something, where it just gets, like, in my own words, murdered by its own success.
Hopefully it doesn't happen.
Yeah. As Kirkman explained, since Invincible was already renewed for a third season, fans shouldn't expect a smaller gap of 2 years between seasons. He sympathized with the fans, saying how once season 2 comes out, he hopes it'll be smooth sailing from there on. Another quote from Kirkman: "This is the pain. This area right now is pain for Invincible fans. So once we're through once season 2 comes out, hopefully it should be smooth sailing from here on. There won't be these big, large gaps theoretically."
Let's read this one and then
call it
quits.
Okay, and that's the last bit. Who's cast in Invincible season 2? Considering both Steven Yeun and Seth Rogen are returned to voice their respective characters, Mark Grayson and Alan the Alien. Wait, Seth Rogen was in.
I guess I didn't even know that.
Probably didn't do his iconic laugh. Yeah.
Maybe that's why I didn't know.
They were reprising their roles in season 2. While no other cast member is officially confirmed, it can be assumed that J.K. Simmons and Sandra Oh will return as Mark's father, Omni-Man, and mother, Debbie. Of course, Gillian Jacobs and Andrew Rannells will likely return as Mark's friends, Adam, Eve, and William Clockwell, followed by Zazie Beetz voicing Mark's girlfriend, Amber Bennett. Two other adults in Mark's life, Art Rosenbaum and Cecil Stedman, will no doubt see the return of Mark Hamill and Walton Goggins. Newest Guardian of the Globe will continue protecting the Earth with Zachary Quinto's Rudolph's robot Connor as their leader, followed by Jason Mantzaka's Rexplode, Melise Joe's Duplicate, Kevin Michael Richards' Monster Girl, Greg Griffin's Amanda and Shrinking Ray, and finally Carrie Payton's Black Samson.
I remember some of these superhero names.
Yeah, me too. Of course, there will be a criminal element of Maher Ali's Titan and Kevin Michael's Richardson's Mahler twins. But it's only the tip of the iceberg for who could return in the second season of Invincible. Well, got high hopes, that's for sure.
Yeah, and we're probably going to have to rewatch the first season to understand it again.
Yeah, just to get, caught up, quote unquote.
Yeah.
I mean, we know what happens, but a little refresher probably won't hurt nobody.
Yeah. So we don't just, forget what happened at the end of last season.
Alright, why are we here? How did we get here?
You skipped the cutscene and now we're in a whole different universe.
Yep. Basically. I think that's about it.
Yeah, I'm getting tired.
Yeah, well, I guess we're wrapping. Yeah. You did the intro, so I'll outro.
Yep.
Well, that was it for this week's episode of the ExtraCasual podcast.
Follow.
If possible, we look forward to seeing you all next week, or having you listen next week. And yeah, that's it from us. This has been Gavin.
Tired Ashton.
And we will see you later.
Bye-bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.